Hi, welcome to today's Plumbers of Data Science episode. Today we're going to talk about REST APIs, how to build them, how to make them secure with tokens. How does that work? I think this is a very interesting topic, and not that many people talk about this, and it's something that is mostly hidden. And I somebody asked yesterday, I don't know who it was, when I showed what I'm doing at Bosch, and so I thought, no, let's take a quick look into what is going on. How do you use this? And because there are some interesting configurations, let's say. Because it depends on if you're using just a website, for instance. If you have you're using tokens, you're using JSON web tokens, and it's different if you have only one application, or if you're having multiple APIs that you need to give authentication to. And so let's get into this. Hello guys, Nick, hi, Argenis, hi. Wow, that's getting complicated. Raka, Vendra, sorry. Hi. So, Sebastian is also here. Hi, Sebastian. Let's have a look at it. If you're new here and you're into data engineering, hit the subscribe button. We're going to do a lot of stuff here, and we've already done a lot of stuff. This is 100 and what is that? 109 episode. A quick word from our sponsors. If you want to support the stream because you like it, check out my webpage, andreaskretz.com. There you have also access to the cookbook, a link to the cookbook news version on GitHub, and you can support me through PayPal, through Patreon, through PayPal.me, where you can send me PayPal money and a message, and I'm going to read the message on stream. Super chats here in the chat function, and you can go through Amazon and buy something from Amazon, and I'm getting a small commission, and this all helps the stream, and basically advance or make the stream better. I'm going to show you at the end of the month what I'm doing with the money from this month, for instance. Okay, then let's get into this. So how I got to this and how I learned about this. I'm from Bosch, and Bosch has the Bosch IoT suite. Not many people know this, as I understand. And in the IoT suite, you have your a service that is called Bosch IoT Permissions, and this is basically what is interesting with the whole API stuff. So now, where was I? So where was this? No, I scrolled away. So stupid. Can I go back? Let me just. I have a backup. So, if you're starting, and usually here's what's going to happen. You have a web app, and you have your solution backend. This is more or less the web server, and that is also going to have the database in it. So you have your solution backend, the SQL database. And what are you going to do if you are logging onto the system? You're using the web UI, you're using your username, you're using your password, you're logging in. And then you have a now this is an example with the Bosch IoT permissions, but all the big ones have this as well. So the backend then authenticates the user and gives an ID token to the user. And the ID token, or what you need to know is there are two ways or two important things for these communications. It's authentication and authorization. Authenticate is basically making sure that you are you, so that you are using the right username and the right password, and the authorization is that is the for you then the right to use this service. And it's pretty straightforward. In this way, what would happen in the solution backend, you would authenticate, that gets an ID, and then with the ID it takes an access token and it delivers both to your PC. And then what you do next time you're doing a query or you're doing something, you're just you're attaching those two tokens, and you can access the web page and move along on the web page. I have seen as well that where systems just use an ID token, because it's a single application. You go there, you log in, you're getting the authentication, and because it's just one service, there's no need of an authorization token. You just get the token, and the next time you go there, you are bringing the ID token with you, so you don't need username and password again, and then you have access to the application. So this is basically straightforward. This works for web UIs, this works for mobile apps, this works for the services behind the mobile app. Every time you're using your mobile app, the app uses a web service, a REST API or something. And so basically this is the essence. And now here comes the more complicated stuff. So what happens? Okay, this is for instance the example with the backend request. So this was what I said for the login. You could then get both tokens, and when you do a request, you bring both tokens. The backend validates the token if that is there's a fly bugging me. Maybe I can kill it. Doesn't matter. It validates the token, and then you get the response. Pretty straightforward, right? Sebastian, was that you who asked yesterday about REST services, or was that someone else? So, okay, here's basically the next thing for someone else. Okay, here's the next thing. So let's say you have another service that you're using, that you want to use. In this, how this would work is now you have the ID and the access token for the solution backend, and then you're authorizing with your ID. You get a access token because you want, let's say this other service, this is a web service for uploading media to YouTube. And not everybody has access to that, only registered users. So this is a web service where you need a authorization for that. So what happens is you're going to the solution backend, your ID, your access token that you have, that you can use the solution backend. This then registers or recognizes that you want to access a resource. It asks the permission software the permission thing to get an access token. So it delivers the access token to the solution backend, and with this access token, it makes the request, or what's the yeah, no, it was like this. Just a quick backend attach. When it's a bit complicated here explained. Just maybe I'm wrong, and you can correct me afterwards. So basically, you're authorized. The solution backend gets another access token, and this access token is then used to use this web resource. Just gonna zoom this bit in. No, then the rest is going to vanish, and basically the other resource is then validating this this additional this additional web resource. And it absolutely makes sense to do it this way, but there's a even better way to do, because now what you have is you have one token, two tokens. You have three tokens that are working here in the whole system, and basically your client also gets this authorization token from the back end for this service. So if you would have 10 services, you would have 10 tokens, and boom, crazy. This would absolutely not be very, very much fun. And this is why there are API gateways. And this is basically where it makes it super simple to access resources. So what happens is you log in, and like before, this is a very, very simple first step. You log in, you have your the API gateway, calls the permission service and authenticates you, and this then gets a token, ID token, and this token is stored in the session manager in the gateway. So you're not getting the ID token, you're getting a session token, session ID. This is basically everything that you get. And what then happens if you want to access something? You're going to use your session token. You don't know anything else. You just have one token, session token, access the API gateway. This says, okay, he wants to access service 1, makes an authentication or authorization request, gets the access token for service 1, and then all the other, and stores it basically in the session at the API gateway. And so when you do a request, you're going to do the request just with your session token, and within the system, the API gateway is going to then take the access token for service 1, make the request, get the response, and send you the response. So very, very simple, straightforward, but this is basically what you need to understand when you think about APIs. APIs, it's not only that you're authenticated. Authentication basically means nothing, because if you only would have authentication, then you could access every service in the background. You also need authorization, and for this, such systems like this permission service is very, very useful, very, very practical. The gateways, these are I don't know if everybody has if every service has a gateway. Sometimes you need to code this gateway yourself. I think with Bosch it's the same thing. This API gateway, you need to implement this yourself, and then you can easily use a service like this permission service. yeah. So it's a very, very interesting thing. Somebody, any more questions about this? Any more details that you want to that you need to see, that you find interesting? What we also have, come on, is there was also this scenario with a proxy. This is what I said before. So you would basically use your authentication, and you're only use an ID. So this is the first step, and then you're doing the next one, and it gets routed through, and then you get the ID delivered basically to you back. And then and then in the next step, you would obtain a token depending on the service that you're using. So basically you get a token just with your ID, get it, and in the next step, with a reverse proxy, you would I'm fighting with my tool here. You would then not use the ID token, you would use the token for the service that you're calling. So it's a different way. Can you see this here? The difference? With this you're basically using your ID token, and with this you're getting or you're using the ID token to get a access token, and then you're going to use the access token for each request, and basically then make requests. It's for I think for simple applications, this is very good. But when you're having multiple resources that needs authentication steps, you need something like this, like an API gateway that is going to manage all the tokens, and you just have the session token. Yeah, this Bosch IoT Suite is platform as a service. But I think that also this is also available from Amazon, for instance. Let me AWS authentication. Or API Gateway. AWS API Gateway. Yeah, for instance, from AWS, there's the Service API Gateway, and I'm guessing this works exactly like the other thing before. Secure APIs at any scale. Where is it here? API development, performance, cost saving. Okay, would need to look at this, but I think this is also for token. AWS API Gateway token controlling manages access. Okay, now it's getting complicated. But as you can see, it's nothing. A lot of people have this. I have this example from the Bosch IoT Cloud because I have seen this, and they are promoting these services, and I thought this is a good example from what we have talked about yesterday, to basically show how would you set up such a thing, and how would you secure such a thing where you have multiple services that are getting used by one client, and you have to authorize then the client for different services. Yeah. For instance, what you would do is, what you could do with this is that the web UI doesn't have access to REST APIs from could you do that? Or if you need some registering for a app, and you have or the app is a paid extra, and your user can have a free web UI, then what you could do is the service service 1, this one is the UI backend, and this one are the app services. And so when a client comes in, a not paying client who is only using the free version, the authorization would say, okay, no, he only gets the token, the access token, or he only has access for service 1, and then it would deliver the token to the session manager and store it there. And if you're on the mobile app and you install the mobile app, it would query, and you would try to query data from service 2, which is the API the app services. Then that would say, okay, I don't have a access token. There is no authorization for this token or for this service, and boom, could then do this and go further. Yeah. Yeah. Who's working with APIs from you? Has any one of you already created APIs? Is that something that you need to do? Because for me, it's a very important thing in a data science platform, and but the problem is not many people understand it, how this works, and how to set this stuff up. Okay, Sebastian says, yeah, we're working with API gateways too. Of course, this is making sense. And no, I'm not planning a proof of concept on this. This is for your information. This is also going to be going to go into the cookbook. This is for you to explore, and this also explains why I'm interested in JSON, and why I'm still doing a lot of Java stuff. These services behind, or the web services, it's very good to do them with Java. So there are many Java frameworks. One of these frameworks is Swing. Let's just drag it over here. Am I stupid? How's it called? Wasn't it Swing? Man, am I already too long on vacation? No, it wasn't called swing. Sebastian, help me here. REST API. Spring. Oh, man. Of course. Spring. Can I have it somewhere here? Spring. Yeah, with Spring you can build your REST APIs very easily, and many people use this. Swagger, I also I know many people use Swagger for documentation stuff. Yeah, definition and for documentation. Swagger is, yeah. It wasn't Swagger now open API. Swagger and Open API. Okay. Open API is just specification. Swagger is implementing. Yeah. Yeah, the new Swagger is Open API. Yeah, that's okay. Now I was right about this. Yeah. Yeah. So these are tools that you can use to build then APIs and realize all this. Okay. For me, Sebastian says you can even generate code from the API definition, Swagger or Open API. So you can have an API first approach. You define your APIs and then the code. So reply. Yeah. It also makes a lot of sense because the definition comes first, and why do stuff 3 or 4 times if you have the definition? Basically, the other stuff is code generation and then filling it out with logic, and so it makes sense to have this automated somehow. Yeah, these are the tools to do this. Yeah, that's it. I would say we're already finishing up. How long are we on? 31 minutes, 30 minutes. Yeah, by the way, I have asked, I did ask about which are the best, which length do you like better for the streams, and let me just see if I can find the poll. Here it is. Let's make a quick screenshot. Yeah, the poll was very, very clear. I asked how are you liking the new video length around 30 minutes, thinking shorter streams, but more often. Like it because I can focus on getting one topic across and not, and that's a major point. And because when I do a lot of stuff, then it gets complicated and I'm jumping from one topic to the other topic, and this is getting annoying. So 88% said I liked shorter streams better. 95 votes. I think this is a very clear message that I don't do these long streams very often. That I focus and get points across that I want to make. Yeah, I'm guessing you guys like this as well. Yeah, just leave a quick. Was there a comment? Few comment. Shorter streams are better to concentrate. Yeah. Yeah, did I have one other thing? Let me just think. Yeah, one thing. I'm not 100% sure, and I'm not 100% sure if you're the right people to ask. I'm going to ask this on LinkedIn. Check out my LinkedIn. I'm going to ask a question, a follow-up question to this, how about the stream length, and then we are going to see where this is going. Okay. Thanks a lot for being here. Thanks a lot for the discussions. Great points from you guys, and maybe I'm back tomorrow. I have a short topic about. I can show this to you. Where was that? I don't find it. About API and AI, and it's going to basically ruin everything, and every job is going to get automated. And I have a few things to say. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Great stream. Now I'm going to chill out a bit because the kids literally went to bed at 9:15 or 9:20, and then about 45 minutes I need to get up again from the couch. Yeah. See ya. Maybe we see each other tomorrow for a short stream. I think I'm trying to do this, and then have a free weekend where I can prepare the Spark Week Day 5 for Monday. Okay. See you around. Have a great day. Until then, bye-bye. Thanks for being here.